Oh, baby, we are here. We went night racing at Bristol Motor Speedway. It was a fun one. Well, it was all right. It was okay. It's not the Bristol that I want. It's not the Bristol that I grew up and the Bristol that I know and love. But it was a good race. It wasn't great. Denny Hamlin beat my favorite driver. Denny Hamlin beat Sal's favorite driver. Denny Hamlin beat Tegan's favorite driver. And all of the other ones. By the way, Sal, Wessel, and I were watching in a PlayStation watch party. Denny Hamlin says that line. We're like, holy shit, that was pretty fire. Good line from Denny. And then the camera just pans to Chase Elliott standing outside of his car. It's totally unnecessary, completely foul. Didn't really need that, but we got it instead. Denny Hamlin did win the race, as I was saying before, when he beat all of our favorite drivers. Oh, Jesus Christ, Bradley. Holy shit. That was not necessary. My
Bradley
God.
spitting facts, though.
My driver's still gonna finish higher than yours, bitch.
Okay. I'm joined by Sal today. How you doing, Sal? Supporting the most supportive sponsor in NASCAR, Monster Energy.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got that Jones boy, Tegan Jones, down there wearing a shirt pretty good for his name, right?
Yep.
You're welcome for finding that for you. Telling me about that. So we had that. We'll go around here. Denny Hamlin wins, locks himself into the round that he was basically already locked into. What are our thoughts on the race as a whole? And our thoughts on Denny Hamlin kind of getting the win that he deserved in this round, since I really think that he was the best car and driver in the first two races, and then got the one he was looking for at Bristol. What are your guys' thoughts on Denny winning?
I mean, it was coming. Like you said, he could have easily take out mistakes and everything. He could have easily swept this round, and it's good to see him finally get this one. And I don't think it's the last time we see him in victory lane. And the race overall, I know before we started watching it, you had told me it was kind of a letdown that first stage. I said give it time, and I feel like that rain caution really helped it. Rather, it was washing some of that PJ1 away or whatever the case might have been. It kind of felt like after that, both lanes, bottom lane was still the lane to be in, but you could see, I know Carson was making up a lot of spots on the high lane, Larson, obviously. But yeah, but second and third stage were definitely good stages.
Yeah. No, I'd agree with that. So, Tegan, give me your thoughts on the race and Denny winning.
We need to get rid of the PJ1.
I don't.
We need to get rid of this car, but you can't. The only reason why they're using it is because of this car.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. We can have a good Bristol race without at the bottom. They done redesigned the track. Now you got to fucking live with it. Quit trying to fucking put chemicals on it.
I like the PJ1 on the track. I think it adds a different element to where the end. Denny was saying on Action Judgmental that the bottom and the top, some drivers were better in different lanes, and he personally said he was making the same time in both. But I thought it brought an interesting element to it. I think it's necessary to make Bristol good, especially this car, because this car would not be good at a one-lane race. So
this car sucks here anyway. So
I agree. I think it was a good race, but it wasn't what Bristol should be.
I see Weasel's comment, him bringing it up, and I think the PJ1 helped it. But I also think we could have done without reapplying it to the track after the Xfinity race.
Yeah, I don't know. It would have become like Top Fest towards the end, though, because you saw how much the top came in. I think that wouldn't have been I think they did the right thing. Of course, stage 1 wasn't great, but I think it ended up at a good point by the end of the race, and that long green flag run was good. But at the same, this car, Tegan, I saw you liked my tweet earlier. This car just doesn't really do it for me at short tracks, and I think that's mostly everybody else. It was a good race, but not great. And the Bristol night race, you expect to be great. You can't get close to cars. You can't be aggressive. It's just.
I think it was worse than last year.
I don't think.
I feel like the dirty air was worse than last year.
Yeah,
I think last year we just had tire problems, is what we're remembering.
Yeah.
But I don't remember them having issues with being on somebody's bumper and losing 0.3 a lap until you got away from it.
Though. Nobody was passing, though.
You can't pass. When you get up to somebody, you lose 3 to 4 tenths a lap. You got to back off and you're fast again. But it don't do you no good if you can't pass somebody. So, I mean, these cars ain't that damn even if you're 3 tenths faster than somebody. But once you get dirty air, you're fucked. Yeah. They should have run the short track package. I have not heard a reason why they don't want to run it here in Dover. Until I hear a reason why they can't, they need to fucking run it.
I think they said it had something to do with the banking.
Yeah, then they need to adjust it. They need to do something. This is not going to fly. Yeah. And Bristol's not going to be happy with it in springtime either. If I'm the president of Bristol, I'm like, NASCAR, you need to figure out something with this car before you come back here in the spring. You are not going to fuck me out of a race.
Well, that's
because y'all can't make a car.
Marcus Smith has invested in North Wilkesboro, the Nashville Fairgrounds. So that's
another racetrack that's really not going to be worth a fuck either.
That's what I'm saying. He's putting the eggs in the basket of short tracks, but this car is not a car that's good for it, which it's really odd. I wish we could find a balance because Gen 6, short tracks, road courses, super speedways, incredible. 1.5 miles, hate to say it, towards the end, awful. Next gen, 1.5 miles, great. Short tracks, road courses, not great. Road courses have been a little hit or miss. There have been some good ones like Coda this year. But the short tracks, really, they've missed on. The only good one, I think, has been Richmond. And that's because they have good tire wear.
They used to be the one where that wasn't the one. It used to always be Martinsville and Bristol.
Yeah, Gen 6 was not good for Richmond.
No.
So, I don't know. I wish we'd find a balance. You know what car is good at every racetrack, though? The Xfinity car. So, yeah.
I'll give it a year or two. They'll redo it and fuck it up, too. Then we'll be like, well, let's put the trucks in Cup. That's how desperate we'll be.
So this is a totally off-topic thing, and I wasn't ever planning on doing this. Before the season, I put down every race and who I thought was going to win. Needless to say, it didn't turn out great. Shall we take a look at it and see how it aged for me? I took a peek at it, and from what I could tell, it didn't look great. But here we are. Okay. So you can see I haven't edited it in years. Version history, it's probably since February 8th. Tegan Jones was here too. I don't know how that happened.
I probably opened it and been like, what the fuck is this? Yeah. Or I might have been with you when you made it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. So have I gotten any right here? I got this right. Check. We'll put next there. So I got one right. Blaney almost won there. I got the wrong Atlanta for Logano, unfortunately. New Hampshire for Truex I got right. Pocono almost got right with Larson there. And I got that right. So I've gotten 3 races right. And now I'm banking on Ross Chastain to win 1, Ryan Blaney to win 2, Chase Elliott to win 1, Larson to win 1, and Denny Allen to win 2. So we'll see how that goes. Probably not looking great for me right there. So we'll see about that. Anything else? We'll talk about Harvick and Logano going out. A surprise because of the name of those two drivers, but I really wouldn't say it's a surprise based on what they've shown throughout the season, especially Harvick towards this part. Logano really, I don't think, has been great all year. Got that 1 win at Atlanta, but really has not done much else besides that. So are we surprised Harvick and Logano are out? Personally, I'm not. What do
I'm
you
a
guys
little
think?
surprised on Harvick just because it was Bristol. He didn't have to go
Yeah.
out there. Like, he could have gained 4 laps and would have had the points to beat, I guess, Bubba, whoever was on the cut line there. That's all he needed was 4 laps.
I remember.
Be a lap down only, he would have been okay. But I don't think that car. I don't think it was right from practice, but I don't think it was as bad as it became. I think something broke in that car is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's not going to be let out either, because I wouldn't care to bet you if it wasn't another Raleigh Herbst at Daytona moment where they literally did not have the car hooked
They messed up.
So they got, I think that car was fucked up from the get-go, and it just took a while to show up. Like,
Well, Briscoe is pretty bad, too.
Yeah.
The only good SHR car was Priest.
Yeah, Harvick should have been way better.
Guy.
It's just, you couldn't even fucking turn, so you could see his car. He was literally getting moved the joy, and I forgot the other car. They put him in the wall, and I'm like, yeah, you should have just wrecked his ass out there. Got you damn caution. Yeah, it was JJ Yeley the 15. So, I mean, yeah, I would have fucking wrecked me a bitch right there just because I'd have been pissed. So, yeah, I think he was biting his tongue during his interview. So,
for sure.
I think he wanted to say some more shit. I think there's some shit going on behind the scenes that we're going to find out next year about Stewart-Haas. That's what I think. I just don't think there's nobody over there giving a shit right now, or they're getting cut off from the Ford support. That's just me personally.
Got any boneheads?
I've got one.
Okay. Time for Tegan's boneheads. Hit the music. Is this the right song? Yeah, it is.
My bonehead is NASCAR. It's the car.
Okay.
They got to do something. I mean, they've known this for all year, and they've literally set on their fucking hands. Last year, all year this year, come out the short track package, but didn't want to run it at Bristol. They should have done something else. They just a tire test with 4 cars is not going to fucking fix your problem. Take 30 of them motherfuckers down there and figure this shit out. You figure out Bristol, I think you figure out all the short tracks. So yeah, car is probably the biggest bonehead this year so far since I've been doing it. So they're my only bonehead. They deserve that honor.
Wow, a sole bonehead to NASCAR. That's harsh, but I agree. I think it needs to be said, and yeah.
Honorable mention, Ron Blaney for the Bob Cockers incident.
Oh, yeah.
He had to come back real quick, and I think the only reason why he did was because it was caught on camera. Because that dude looked like he was ready to fucking throw hands. He was it looked like he was already fucking pissed, probably because how his car was running. And then he gets side skirted by poor Bob, and fucking. It would have only been better if Bob had hit the fucking ground like Peter Griffin. Oh, that would have been fucking awesome on camera and everything. And then it would have been even better to see Harvick turn around and just start going at Blaney. All right, motherfucker, I'm pissed.
You mess with Bob.
You mess with Bob. You mess with me. Nobody messes with Bob but me and Tony.
That would have been a twist, man. Wow.
Especially after the video about all the shit that Harvick's been into in his career that come out this week. You know, with Blaney was in it. Him and Blaney's had issues before, so
Martinsville 2017, I think, is the most memorable of those between them.
Yeah, them two.
So yeah, I think Blaney's entering like his Kurt Busch era, where he's just cussing on the radio constantly. And now he's assaulting Bob Pockrass. So he is really following the Kurt Busch line of his career.
All thing we need now is Jerry, Dr. Punch. Come and do his interview.
What did
we'll just do this later.
Yeah, he called him like a bitch or something.
Yeah.
Dr. Punch is not having Kurt Busch's shit. You don't
no.
fuck.
He took it for a little bit, and he's like, you know what? We'll do this later. He really meant to say, "Fuck you, bitch." I really fuck. I hope after the camera stopped rolling in that interview, I hope he went, "Fuck you, you Dumbo looking bitch."
Nah, Dr. Jerry Punch don't fuck around. That's for sure. Anything else from Bristol that we'd like to talk about? Logano, defending champion, out.
Wrong place, wrong time. I think he could have squeaked in.
Probably going to be out.
I think he wouldn't have went for those so many laps down. I think he would have. I think it would be him over, I guess, Bubba.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
It would have been close, I think, because I don't think Logano was very good. But I feel like
I don't think he wouldn't have. I don't think he'd have went laps down like Harvick did, though.
Yeah. Might have went 1 or 2 because there was only what?
I mean, he was only 4 or 5 points behind. He only needed fucking 5, and he finished literally last. So
yeah. So that's Sal just covered the camera. You get a little moment there. What's going on over there, Sal?
Nothing. I had some talking to do.
Yeah. Hey, Dale Jr. raced this weekend.
Dale Jr. did race, and you motherfucker said he wasn't going to be competitive. And what was he? He was competitive. He put them little kids up in their spot, and then his car caught on fire. But
and then he had a hole in his pants.
He did have a hole in his pants. That's how you know he's a true blue collar racer right there.
That's right. Kim Kuhn was like, "You smell like shit, dude."
You know what? I will agree with Tegan for NASCAR being a bonehead because Junior tried to wave the safety crew down. And
I just don't think there was nothing there. I think they done packed up for the day. I think that was just Rick being Rick. They said no. That's just Rick being the dumbass. I just don't think they were there. Yeah, when they're saying no.
If Dell Jr. tells you to run onto a live track, you're going to run onto a damn live track.
I think he was talking to the 20 pit crew. I don't think there was nobody over there.
Yeah.
No fire crew or anything. So
any NASCAR, Dale Jr. gives a minute suggestion. NASCAR makes that move. Okay. Dale Jr. said, we're going to run Bristol backwards next year. Best believe the spring race would be backwards. Okay.
Well, I do believe we're going to get a new rule about entering pit road when the caution light comes out because of Dale Jr. So I do thank him for that. It's just a year too late. So,
yeah. But Dale Jr. did race, was very competitive, led a lot of the laps, thought he was going to win for a minute there. Then kind of lost track position. I think he made a bad decision on one of the chooses when he was second and chose the top behind the leader. Instead of second, I thought he should have chose the bottom. Didn't work for who was it that tried to pass? I don't remember exactly who it was, but I think he didn't make a great decision there. And then kind of hung out in the top 5 until when his end came. But Justin Allgaier ultimately won that race. And Daniel Hemrick was second, who we will talk about a little bit later about him. But we had a little JRM meltdown. Seems like they do activities as a team no matter what they are. The 8, 1, and 9 all wreck in the same incident. And Sam Mayer and Brandon Jones decided to go at Josh Berry. And Josh Berry was like, y'all are fucking dumb fucks, okay? My tire was cut. I don't know what the fuck you want me to do. What are your guys' thoughts on the incidents? I think Sam Mayer's an idiot.
I think Sam Mayer and Brandon Jones, they should have been boneheads too. They are. So, yeah, I think they're just pissed off because he's going to Cup. And we know Brandon Jones is a lifetimer in Xfinity. Sam Mayer's headed that way. I think he'll get some starts, some chances. I don't think he'll do good enough to stay. He'll be like Noah. So, yeah, I think they're just fucking pissed that he's going to Cup and they're not. That's just what I think. So,
at first glance, I did think because I saw like the contact between Sam and Josh, and then I saw Josh just like turn right into him. And I'm like, come on, Barry, you're the second coming of Jesus over here. You can't be doing that. Right. But then after seeing more, because I was at a football game, so I was like tuning in and out. And after seeing more of it, I kind of saw like, oh yeah, he didn't do it on purpose. I mean, Dale Jr. and him are like buddies. So
too close. If I'm Dale Jr., to be honest, I'm going to Brandon and Mayer, and them two assholes are going to like be all weekend next weekend issuing out apologies. Every time the mic gets in front of their face, that better be the first thing that comes out of their mouth is an apology.
what you boys gonna go out there and do is you're gonna apologize to Josh Berry, okay?
That's right. You're gonna give him an apology, right?
Or I'll single-handedly make sure y'all do not advance to the next round, boy.
Yeah, Justin Allgai's about to get all the good shit.
Yeah.
We see Mayor blow up this week. We know what happened.
Yeah. Junior said, "You dumb son of a bitch! Don't talk about Josh like that." What an idiot. Daniel Hemrick finished. Daniel Hemrick finished second. Hey, he's going cup racing next year. Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dirty.
He's the modern day Mr. Excitement, isn't he?
It was a surprise.
What a late.
Right down to the freckle.
The freckle. The freckle heard around the world that the internet determined was Daniel Hemrick's, and the photo of Chris Rice shaking somebody's hand. Yeah, I like Daniel Hemrick, but it's not the most exciting move. We'll see. I don't know. I think he'll be okay. I hate to say it. I think it might be a downgrade from Justin Haley.
Mm-hmm.
Or a similar
circle.
Is he?
That apparently must be the deal. That's the reason why Justin Haley didn't get offered to stay.
Circle
Justin Haley got out when he could.
Circle is fully invested in Hemrick.
How do you know that?
They went from, because we tried sponsoring him at the Roval.
They're all like that.
Yeah, he Circle completely bought out the majority of this year. And yeah, because where we were normally placed, we're placed obviously on the quarter panel, right? But that's where, when Circle sponsors, that's where they put the fruits and all that they put in their stuff, and they were not willing to give that up. So Circle is very highly invested in Daniel Hemrick, and I think he'll perform slightly better than Justin Haley.
Ooh,
I don't think this team really, right? If they come back the same way they are this year, I don't see this team competing for wins really anywhere except probably super speedways.
Yeah, because they're not there on road courses like you'd think they would be,
like they were last year. No, I mean, only road course they showed good speed at, I would say, is Watkins Glen. That's because you couldn't pass.
Actually was running. Allmendinger was running good laps at Indy. He had some issues early on in the race and was running some of the fastest laps on the track towards the end of the race. I think he was a little off cycle though, so that might be a little bit of a.
He's probably pissed too. Remember? He got spun.
Yeah, he did. And Haley ran well at the Chicago street course for a little bit. Had that probably my favorite battle of the year with SVG. Awesome moment between those two. That little back and forth. What a race that was, first of all. Let's just say
I think SVG went home saying, this Justin Haley guy is the best guy ever. And then he, looked at his results and, is he not that
God,
good?
this guy's not. But yeah, we'll see. 16 car, AJ Allmendinger, starting to sound like he's not going to be back in it next year. Any idea of who it would be? I'm not really sure.
Or maybe this one will actually shock us.
Noah?
I think Noah's going to the Truck Series.
If you take out the fact what he got put out for, maybe. But now that that's factored in, I think it's going to be a while before we see Noah back in Cup.
If ever.
And apparently now we know that it wasn't an equipment issue with Legacy. So
I wouldn't say that.
Unless they just finally started hitting on something.
I think they have, because Eric Jones was not good this year. And Eric Jones,
that's what I'm saying, though. We can't say it's equipment anymore. Was it Noah? Everybody was saying it was equipment there for the longest time.
I think it was, because Eric Jones was not good this year, right? I think it was 28th.
He hasn't been hitting it off till recently.
But I think in this first round of the playoffs, I saw a stat where I think I'll get it on Twitter real quick. Let's see. I think I saw it somewhere.
Most scored points during the playoffs so far?
Not the most, but he was up there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think I saw that too. I think Harvick was 15th out of 16.
Yeah. Well, it was the full list of the drivers, and I think Eric Jones was top 10. So they've been running well. Looked like he could have gone and taken the lead at Darlington. I think ran top 5 at points at Kansas and had a solid top 10 this week and kind of fell out. Carson Hocevar ran really, really well this week. There's one point where he was definitely the fastest car on the track moving through the field, got up into the top 5, which was really impressive. Did he end up? Where did he end up?
I don't think he finished there. Yeah.
He had a
good,
loose wheel there at the end.
Right, yeah, I read that on Twitter. So really good run for Hocevar. Yeah, I don't think it's equipment. Excuse me, I don't think it was Noah totally. It was a fly in my face. But I think that it could be a combination. Maybe Noah just didn't hit right immediately, and also, but I think Legacy had found something because Eric Jones was bad this year and has been really, really good lately. So that's something to take into consideration when we kind of bury Noah. I like Noah. I think he deserves another chance in the Cup Series at some point. I think he's too good, and I think that if you give him a little time in that car, I think he could be decent. So we'll see if he comes back. Truck Series seems like it might be the way. Maybe that Rackley 25 truck could be the one for Noah. That's kind of what I've heard. Haven't heard much else on that front for Noah. Maybe
here's
Xfinity.
Here's one that could kind of shock. We don't have Zane Smith for Ford anymore. So maybe Eric retires the 38, maybe, or Eric retires and he takes the 10. Stuart Haas has passed up so many fucking drivers. It's unbelievable just how much they don't care. I think pairing Noah up with Josh Berry, because they already have a history as teammates, wouldn't be a bad idea, to be honest.
Yeah. That'll lead us into our next topic. Ford, massive L from them on this front. Zane Smith signs a multi-year deal with Trackhouse. Won't be driving for them in 2024. Will be driving for Spire, who purchased the BJ McLeod number 78 charter, and that's what Zane Smith will be running in for Spire.
To be fair, though, years ago he did say that he wanted to drive for Trackhouse. That was a team that he wanted to be in when it come to Cup. So
yeah, but I still think Ford fumbled the bag with him. He is literally the only driver really in their developmental pipeline right now. Who are the other ones right now? Haley Deegan, Cole Custer, who got sent back down into the developmental series, Riley Herbst. Who else is there? Ford could not have afforded to lose Zane Smith. And they did. And that's huge. They really, really messed up with this one.
So you might need to look into that. Does that mean there's no Fords to put him in eventually? Is there a Ford team getting ready to switch over?
Could it be SHR? That might have been over to Chevy. And
I think it is.
Yeah. So that's not a bad call. And I don't know if it would be next year. I think their contract runs till the end of 2024, I think.
Well, Tony did say that. He didn't come out and say, though, they were extending with Ford either, so that kind of lit the shit up.
And you hear that Ford is shopping other teams to join the Ford camp.
But who could? I mean,
for that to happen, Colleague?
Maybe Zane is making the right move. Maybe Colleague is switching Ford after next year.
Yeah.
I mean, because they're not – literally, where do you see them in the Chevy lineup? In the pecking order? Yes. I don't even think they're top 3. You know they're not top 2.
Definitely not top 3. Well, you got to think,
you
right?
got Hendrick,
RCR, Trackhouse.
RCR.
Maybe they're – I feel like I'm missing somebody.
I think if you're not top 3 in a pecking order, you're not there. But and Ford, even though Ford has RFK, that's only a 2-car team.
Then you got Penske.
Not a 4-car team.
Right, yeah.
So you got more. You're up a little bit more, not team wise, but total car wise.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's a good move for Zane Smith. I think Trackhouse is a solid team to align yourself with with for the future. But I think it really poses an interesting dynamic at that organization because they signed not only Zane Smith last week, they signed Shane Van Gisbergen. He is coming to America, going to run a combination of the 3 Series next year, Truck, Xfinity Cup, and some late model races. Okay, SVG. Might see him in the Cars Tour. Dale Jr. is going to be excited. So that's very, very interesting that Zane Smith will be at Spire next year. SVG is going to be bouncing around.
And we still think they're going to sign another driver. Right?
Who?
Collie?
I'm not talking about Collie right now.
Okay, you're talking about Trackhouse.
Okay. Yeah. Ross Chastain, you think is safe with the Busch sponsorship, the name recognition now. Ross Chastain is not going to have a problem. He's going to be there for, I think, as long as he wants. I think he signed a long contract, too, with them, if I heard kind of right through the offseason what they said. So, as of now, Trackhouse has 2 charters. I would not be surprised if they purchase that Spire charter after 2024 for Zane. But let's say right now, they have 2 to 3 cars and they have 4 drivers. So something has to give. If Zane Smith doesn't perform, maybe it's him. If SVG really doesn't show like, hey, maybe it's not for me. Maybe this NASCAR isn't for me. Maybe he doesn't like it. Maybe he doesn't like America. I wouldn't if I.
Hey man, I don't think he's gonna like ovals.
Well, he said he had fun at IRP. It was battling Lawless.
That's one race though. Vegan. Do it every week. Yeah, I don't know.
So we'll see. But Sal, I know we're Daniel Suarez guys here. We love Daniel Suarez, right? As he said previously.
Hey, my amigo Sal, how are you doing?
He said that before, right?
Yeah.
That's you, talking to you. Could he lose his ride after 2024?
No. I know I've seen and I understand why people think he would, but I think I just don't see it. I think he's going to sign an extension. A lot of what they...
Or was it last year?
It's not.
It's 2 years.
Last year. Yeah. So it's till the end of 2024.
I thought a couple weeks ago, I could have sworn Whitman that you said he ain't going nowhere. It's Pitbull. Pitbull ain't going to get rid of his amigo.
That's where I was kind of going to go with it.
It's a different game now with Zane Smith in play.
I think if you take Suarez out, you don't get that Pitbull money. A lot of what they built themselves around was the whole diversity. For a while, it was like really big with like the Latin community. I don't think you see him go anywhere.
Yeah, but do you keep a driver just because he's Hispanic but ain't performing? Just because you want sponsors money? Too? Eventually, he won't. If he's getting lapped to the first 50 laps at Bristol, no, he won't. He was getting lapped before Harvick did.
He got his lap back and then finished ahead of Harvick.
Yeah, well,
so along with Denny Hamlin, Daniel Suarez also beat your favorite driver, buddy.
That's okay. My driver's got a championship. Daniel Suarez ain't gonna never have that opportunity.
He has an Xfinity Series championship.
Hey, my driver's got 2
my amigo Sal, how are you doing?
I love throwing the Suarez jump scare in. It has him on mute. Sal, can you unmute yourself? It says you're muted. Oh, he's purposely muted. Okay. Oh, we got a phone call live. Here's Sal on the phone.
It's Judy.
Is it Judy? Shake. Is it shake? If it's Judy, shake your head yes.
Is it Sam? Making wedding plans?
Is it Raul? Is it a coworker? AutoZone. Get in the zone. Okay, it's an AutoZone worker.
Shirt on the register again, ain't we?
Yeah. That was a whole ordeal a couple nights ago. But yeah, so Trackhouse is going to be an interesting dynamic there. We'll see what happens with that. So yeah, Spire will go to 3 cars. Seems like they're gonna have a Trackhouse Alliance and Hendrick Alliance, so they're really gonna be just a. Seems like they're a developmental for Chevy in the Cup Series.
That's
feel
where
like
their
they might
people
be like
Chevy's
a-
going.
They might be like the word I'm trying to say is just like a leaping ground.
Stepping stone.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
That's the word I was looking for. So also Spire, host of Art of the 77 has not been confirmed, but it's happening. Terribly kept secret, I think, in the industry right now. Host of Art gonna be in the 77. This fly is huge, and it's been in my face this entire episode. It's really annoying. Okay. All right, this is getting ridiculous. Anyway, so yeah, we talked about Dale Jr. Unfortunately, Martin Truex Jr.'s longtime partner Sherry Pollux passed away this week or yesterday, I think it was. Was it
Yesterday.
After a long battle with ovarian cancer. Always a great asset to the sport for her awareness and all the
Charity.
things that she did charity-wise for cancer. I think she's a really, really impressive and strong woman. I feel like as long as I can remember, she's been battling the awful disease. So unfortunate that she passed away, but glad that she's in a better place. That must not have been a fun battle, but it was very courageous and strong of her. And always to really be at the track throughout and do her catwalk with a cause with Martin Truex Jr.
Which we just literally had the weekend before she
This
died.
week,
So.
yeah.
Yeah. She wasn't there, of course, so probably kind of people knew what was going on with that. So, yeah, really, really sad. Anything you guys want to say about it before we move on?
I didn't like. I mean, obviously, a lot of the times between us, like we'll share news and stuff like that. I had seen that. I want to say a little bit after the Formula One race had ended. I started seeing that. I'm not a big fan of people with stuff like this reacting and sharing about it so soon. I wasn't a fan of. I believe the original, like, announcement or like the original post about it was Max Papis, which I guess they were apparently good friends or something like that. He obviously knew he kind of messed up on it because shortly after it was deleted. But I was not a big fan of like people jumping on with it, sharing about it and everything. I feel like that's something you'd want. First off, let the family kind of figure out what they want to do, and then from there go. But I mean, yeah, like you said, she had a big impact in what she, like, her charities, Truex's. I mean, every Roval race, you'd get a pretty decent scheme with Truex for the Sherry Strong. Yeah, it just sucks.
I hope they can do something for that either
Mhm.
this week or within the next couple weeks. I know they weren't together still, but it must be devastating for Truex. He was with her for.
I mean, they
I
co-founded
can remember.
his
His
Yeah.
charity,
foundation.
so his foundation, it's basically was half hers. So maybe
Yeah.
I don't know how it's going to work since they weren't together. I don't know if it's going to be awkward or not. So
And you have Danica Patrick being an absolute dumb fuck throughout this. Whatever
Yeah.
happened between them, that's not important right now. I don't think that this is the time to air people out, especially after, like, you don't need to use somebody's death to air somebody out.
Yeah.
That's absolutely disgusting what Danica did. She's really looking for attention because she posts all these podcasts about flat earth, anti-vax. So she's just trying to keep herself in the news. Danica, massive L on her part. I really don't like that from her. Because it doesn't matter.
As soon
Like,
as,
go ahead, Sal.
or what I mean, as like you said, as soon as I saw that she had to add in there. It was someone she didn't like. I stopped reading because at that point you're not making it about the person. You're making it more about yourself and your beef with Truex for whatever the hell he did.
So, not a big fan of that from Danica. I hope we never see her again in NASCAR or anything to do with NASCAR. She, just really a disgusting and distasteful comment from her. But let's go into our next segment where we will pick who we think is going to win at Texas. Let's go to pod picks. Bradley came away with the win last week to up his lead to 3 points. Bradley having a great season. He picked Kyle Larson. So this week, let's see here. Let me get the results up so I know who's picking first. I think it's me.
Pretty sure.
Yeah. Harvick did not do too hot.
He's washed. He's ready for Phoenix.
I think Harvick's over this car, and I think Harvick's over Stuart Haas. He just ain't putting it out there.
I would be. But anyway, my pick. I'm always one for the storybook moments. Martin Truex Jr., I think, said he had his best mile and a half car of the year at Kansas. Had a really bad round. Unfortunately, lost somebody who was his long-time partner. I just think the story is there for Martin Truex Jr. to win, have an emotional moment. He's going to have the weight of the world on his shoulders, all the motivation. So I'm going to be picking Martin Truex Jr. This week to get that huge win for him and rebound his momentum in the playoffs, which clearly was not good in the first round. But I think if they can make it through that round, I think the toughest thing is past that team. I think Truex goes out there and wins at Texas. Next up, I think would be Tegan with Kyle Busch. I think that's right. So. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tegan. Kyle Busch. Who are you going to pick this week?
Then we'll take Blaney.
Ryan Blaney, All-Star winner from 2022. Hopefully he doesn't take his window net down. Tegan picks Ryan Blaney. Next up, we had Busher, Brad K, and Bell. Good picks from everybody there. But Brad K was the worst out of him, so it'll be Wessel next, who actually texted me Ryan Blaney as his pick earlier.
I knew he would. That's why I took it.
Yeah, so he's going to go with Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin for him. The next up, I believe, is JB with Chris Busher, who hasn't sent me his pick yet. Sally, you're going to be next with Christopher Bell. Who do you have?
Kevin Harvick.
You fucked up.
Yeah, that's an odd one.
What's after Texas?
Talladega.
Oh, Dega.
Yep, Talladega is the next one after that, and then Bradley will pick Tyler Reddick. Okay, I know Chevy's picked this week, so that's an interesting. Well, not yet, at least. We're still waiting on JB. So, yeah. Whoa, that was not the right button. Anyway, is there anything else we'd like to talk about? Let's talk about the league race. Mind Killer wins on fuel mileage. I'm tired of it. I'm sharing my screen still. Wait, that was weird. Yeah, I'm tired of fuel mileage. Just going to say that. Mind Killer wins using neutral. Whoop-de-doo. Going to be close for Bristol. All right, Tegan, tell me about the points.
I believe you're what? 4 up? Or are you 5 up on the cut line?
5.
And I believe JB is 3 on the cut line above Ryan, who almost had it won last night, which really would have fucked it up. He did finish second.
Away from winning.
Yeah, basically a half a lap. Yeah, he kind of sputtered before. He just sputtered because Michael didn't. So.
Yeah. Sal was in the booth. I thought you guys did a great job. It was a really, really good booth. Thank you, Sal.
You going to do it again this weekend?
Yeah, why not? I had fun.
All right. Sal's back in the booth for Bristol, baby. That's right. Hey, can you what announcer in NASCAR like can you be like DW with Junior for me?
Junebug.
Come on, Whitbug or whatever you're gonna call it.
Oh, here comes the Pied
Skitman.
Piper.
Tell you what, watch out for this night owl. Sorry, I'm running. Spoiler alert. Holy mackerel, I gotta poop. Is there anything else we'd like to discuss? I think it's about time to get out of here. I really have to go to the bathroom.
Right. Oh, damn it.
What is that for? What is that for? What's going on?
What is he doing?
Yes. I'm burning the fuck up. It's 80 degrees in here. I shut my door and it fucking becomes a song.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I gotta poop. See you guys later. Have a good one.
In my PlayStation.
Happy birthday, Spencer.